Welcome back to the Force 90 YouTube channel, welcome back to more Tale of the Toffees. It's the Everton save on Football Manager 2017, and in today's video we are kicking off the knockout stages of the Champions League with an away game against Besiktas. It's a long way to travel, but we'll see what we can do. Get a good result in this away leg, and hopefully when we get back to Goodison we can knock them out and get through to the quarterfinals, but we'll wait and see. Before we get into that though, let's show you the goals from the games I played off screen. Against Watford in the FA Cup 4th round, it was actually the Hornets that took the lead. Igalo with the finish just on the edge of the 6-yard box, giving Watford the 1-0 lead. That goal coming in the 9th minute. On the 23rd minute, Everton equalised. There's a midpoint in the first half, and Everton scored the goal. It was Berahino with their header, and it ended 1-1, and Everton had to do a replay at Goodison. But first they had to take on Southampton, who took the lead. It was Højbjerg with the first goal in the 21st minute. Once again, Everton found themselves trailing. Everton had a free kick in the 39th minute, taken by new signing Ward-Prowse, and the foul was committed on Jagielka by Højbjerg, the goal scorer. Everton had a penalty. Berahino stepped up to take their penalty and scored it. It was 1-1 with 38 minutes on the clock. 70 minutes into the game, Everton did get a winner. Terrible back pass by Romeu, and Berahino pounced and scored his second of the game, and it ended Everton 2, Swansea 1. Everton then had their FA Cup replay against Watford, and once again Watford took the lead. Again it was Igalo, the shot coming with the 66th minute, and Watford had a lead at Goodison. Everton again equalised in the game. 72 minutes into the game, Klaassen headed the ball into the goal to make it 1-1, and it looked like extra time was on the cards. With 4 minutes left in the game, Everton did find a winner. It was Balassi who scored the goal, sending Everton through to the 5th round of the FA Cup, where Chelsea awaited. Everton then travelled to the Liberty Stadium to take on Swansea, and they broke the deadlock in the 49th minute. Berahino with a goal from the tight angle, Fabianski with a bad display in goal. Berahino gave them 1-0 lead. Everton then conceded a penalty, Swansea winning it. It was Morales brought down by Deulofeu in the box. Swansea get a penalty. Gylfi Sigurdsson stepped up to take the penalty, and would he score or would it be a save? It was a save. Casilla saving the ball and then holding on to it, and it ended 1-0 Everton. Casilla saving Everton from dropping points. So it's been very close recently, and our form hasn't been great. As you can see, we've lost a fair few games in the past couple of months. That is due to the fixture congestion. We're still in the FA Cup, we're still in the Champions League. We have now been knocked out of the EFL Cup. Man United beat us 5-2 on aggregate. But we still do have competition to play in. There is the FA Cup 5th round against Chelsea coming up. Hopefully we can win that, but that's going to be close. But that probably won't happen today because we're going to play Besiktas, and I've got some signings to show you, which I'll do now. So, ignore Manuel Locatelli. I think I mentioned this before, but I went to get him on loan because I thought he was a defender. I don't know why I thought that. He's not a defender, he's a midfielder. I fucked up and immediately ended his loan. So, as you can see, we've made 5 signings this January. I'll show you these 3 guys in a minute. They're youngsters, and you may not see them this save. But I've gone through James Ward-Prowse a little bit, but I haven't really shown you what he actually looks like in terms of attributes. Of course, we signed him from Southampton in January. £22.5 million. Quite a big fee, but he's English, so English homegrown players do tend to command a higher fee. But they wanted 30, so I think we've got him for a decent price. Very good set piece taker. We have a lot of people that can do that. Oxan, Deulofeu, a great free kick corner takers, and now we have Ward-Prowse as well. 16 corners, 16 free kicks. 18 crossing, 15 passing, 15 technique. Mentals look very good. I like that vision and work rate at 16, 17 determination. Physicals are pretty decent as well. So, we've got a good player here. He's only a rotation player, but he's played a few appearances for us so far, and he hasn't really put a foot wrong. We've also got in another goalkeeper. I wasn't too impressed with Stekelenburg anymore, so he's gone on loan. He's gone to Heracles, back to Holland. And we've loaned in Alphonse Areola from Paris Saint-Germain. Not because his surname's Areola, I promise. But we probably won't ever see him because I'm going to be playing Casilla every game unless he gets injured or suspended for whatever reason. Hopefully that won't happen. So Areola, if he needs to come in, he can do so. He looks okay. His attributes are all going down, but we'll see if we ever see him. I'm not quite sure. And then we've got 3 youngsters. So we've got Jose Augusto, a centre-back. He's currently on loan at Fleetwood Town. We bought him from Middlesbrough. £6.5 million for a youngster. You know, in terms of his basic defending attributes, he looks pretty good. Decent header of the ball, good tackling, good positioning and determination. He looks okay. So I don't know if we'll see him like sort of in the save at all, but here he is. We've also got a couple of strikers. This is Radomir Panayotov, a Bulgarian signed from Ludogorets, only about £400,000 fee. As a poacher, you know, he looks okay, great determination and flair, physicals look very decent for a 17-year-old, and they're only in crucial time. And good finishing in first touch at 12 for a 17-year-old isn't too bad. 1.5 star current ability, if he ever needs to play, if we have an injury to one of our strikers, I'm sure this guy can, you know, fill the gap on the bench. He looks pretty decent. But then again, Nicky Clark looks even better. Another striker. This one was bought from Charlton Athletic. £2 million fee for the Northern Irishman. As a target man, again, physicals look very good for his age. Decent mentals in there, good composure, determination and determination at 12. Decent finishing at 13, good tackling at 12 as well. For a target man, this guy looks pretty good. So, some decent youngsters in there. I'll show you some of the people that we sold as well. There have been a few sales. We go from here. So, Besic, Leandro Rodriguez and Darren Gibson have all been sold permanently. Besic went to AC for £1.1 million, Rodriguez has gone to Pompey, £1.3 million, and Darren Gibson's gone to Birmingham. We've also released Aidan McGeady by mutual consent because he was never going to find a club, so he's been released. And then you've got a bunch of loans there as well. You can see Stecklenburg gone to Heracles, Jermaine Anderson's gone to QPR, and a few others in there. Holgate's gone, Liam Walsh. So there you go. So that's what I'm going to show you there. Let's jump into a game. It may just be the one game today. It'll be a bit of a shorter video. But tomorrow I will do the second leg of the Champions League, which will be the home game against Besiktas. And then after that we have a game against Man City, which I'm not quite sure what I'll do about this because we may have more games in here. There's not a lot of league games left. I think there's only 10 league games left. But next episode we'll definitely see the second leg of this Champions League tie. And I'll very quickly show you the league table. We beat Southampton and Swansea off screen, so that's made it a bit better. Man United did drop points against Brighton, so the gap has shrunk to 10 points. It was 12. But Man United still 10 points ahead. That's a tough lead to try and break down. We are 5 points ahead of Liverpool and Spurs. And we're 13 ahead of West Ham, who are in 5th. So it looks like a top 4 finish is what we're going to be getting again, which I'm absolutely fine with. Okay, so Besiktas. Now that's interesting. It's not often you see an asymmetric formation from the AI. I don't think I've seen that at all. Not in this game at least. But this is the team that played against Southampton. And they look fairly solid. So it's probably the team that will play again. Now, do we have Idrissa Gueye back? We do indeed. So I'm gonna leave out Sanson for this one. We'll put Idrissa Gueye back on the bench. Now, if you're wondering why Ogzan's unhappy, I'll go through this very shortly. Arsenal put a bid in for him. Total fee was about 22 million, something like that. I rejected it, and he was unhappy that I didn't let him move to a bigger club. He wants to win a league title, and I said, you know, we can do that next season if we push for it. And he didn't have it. So he was unhappy, and then he brought in a bunch of other players. There were literally about 6 other players who were saying, you're not treating him well enough. I've sweetened most of them up, but, you know, he hasn't come round yet. We also had bids from Arsenal for Ross Barkley. They seem to be raiding our club at the moment, or trying to raid our club. That was about £33 million total, and that was rejected. And Barkley was absolutely fine with it, but I'm sure they're going to come back in the summer. There's still major interest there. So I think this is the team we're going to go with at the moment. They don't look too bad. They're doing fairly well. Bolassi's been a bit quiet. Klaasen's been a bit hit and miss. Not been the best signing of the season. He's got a few goals though. 7 goals this season. But yeah, and then, you know, the same with Lukaku. Lukaku's had a pretty rough spell. Berahino's been doing quite well. He's got a few goals in the past few games. So he's getting the nod against Lukaku at the moment. But they've both got a fair amount of goals this season. Berahino, wasn't expecting massive things from him. He's not the most devoted player. But Lukaku has been much, much better this season. Of course, last time around didn't score as many goals, but I think that was partly due to the fact that he wanted to move. But now he seems to be okay. I'm not the sort of guy that says that Lukaku should move because he's too big for the club. Because that's what Ronald Koeman said, and that makes no sense. Why would you want your best player to not be at your club? That makes no sense. So Besiktas are going with that asymmetric formation. Now, there's a few players here that I kind of recognise, like Gökhan Inler and Gökhan Toure. One of them played for West Ham, didn't they? Like, they played for West Ham? They were here on loan? Was it Toure? Yeah. Yeah, he's on loan at West Ham at the moment in real life. There's only a couple of players there that I properly recognise, but I know there's some good players in there. Okay, the team talk's not that bad. We are in a good one. We're playing well. Let's see if we can do well here. I did a team meeting off screen as well. And, you know, they're getting a bit fed up with them. I'll probably do too many of those. Let's see if we can find a goal here. We have won the ball back off them, and Klassen is on it here. And he's found Balassi. That is a great move, and Balassi goes to the finish, and it's a decent save by Fabrizio. But that was a good counter-attack there. And that is half-time, so we have had a bit more of the ball, but there's been literally like 3 shots in that game. Keep going out there and you can still win, I'm going to say. And then we'll go for some individual, you weren't that bad, because that seems to always do something positive. Okay, that hasn't gone too badly. Can we do anything with our instructions? Let's have a look at this. It's hard to tell because we haven't really seen a lot of action, so we don't really know what's going on. Of course, the away goals in this Champions League are absolutely vital sometimes. They can be crucial. And if we score one, then it could see us in a good place in the tie. 55 minutes in almost. We're not doing too well here. We're not having enough shots. Berahino, I think he's been a bit of a passenger today. Hasn't really seen much of him. He's on a 6-3. I'm going to change him to a poacher. Let's see if that makes a difference. And then if it doesn't make a difference, we'll take him off. We'll get Romelu on there. I'm not having enough shots at the moment, so I'm going to set it up to attacking, which is a bit of a risk, I know, but if we can find a goal, we'll look very good in the tie. We've only had 7 shots. I don't think we've had a shot this half. We've got 4 players on the yellow card, which is a bit of a worry, because some of these guys, you know, they'll end up getting suspended. I'm going to make a double change. We're going to bring on Lukaku up top as the target man, and we're going to put Sinkgraven on the left wing. I'm going to try that. Let's see if that makes a difference. Hopefully it does. It looks like it's going to be a goalless draw. Now that is a bit of a worry because we've got a late corner here though. A late free kick rather. It's been headed away by Marcelo and that's full time. It's 0-0. Not the best of games really. You didn't really see much. And that's a dangerous result because Besiktas, they score 1 goal. And that's the end of it. Seem to lose focus. Who's that? Lukaku. Never mind. See a 1-1 draw at Goodison will mean Besiktas go through. So we have to beat them at the end of the day because 0-0 is extra time. If there's any other draw, then they go through. And if they win, they go through, obviously. So we have to beat them at Goodison. There's no other result that will do. I would like to get a goal today as insurance. That's absolutely true. Now, there wasn't a great deal of highlights in that game, I know. So we will play the Chelsea game. But I don't think I'll show you a great deal of highlights because otherwise the video will be a bit too long. So I may just show you the goals or some major chances. I'll cut out what I don't want to show at the end of the day. But I think we'll play one more game because that one was a bit boring, I know. So we'll do one more. No big upsets in the FA Cup at the moment, as you can see there. But I think we're the only team. Are we the only team left to play, or are there loads of games on the Sunday? I don't know. EFL Cup final, by the way, we went out of that last episode. It's between Man United and Norwich, of all teams. There you go. Okay, Brindis Mori's back to full training, so he could play, but I don't want to rush him straight back. Looking like a 4-4-2 by Chelsea. We're going to exploit them a little this. Only changes I'm going to make. I'm going to bring on Felipe Anderson for Balassi. We are going to bring on... we're going to bring Oguzhan back in. I know he's unhappy, and I said he'd be training with the kids, but we're going to bring him back in. I think we need Lukaku as well. Just put him against his former team. That's the team we're going to go with then. What are Chelsea playing? Are they playing a 4-4-2? They are indeed. So Thibaut Courtois in goal, back 4. Marcos Alonso, Christensen, Zuma and Malo. Hazard, Giraldez, Hughes, Bernardeschi, Bamford and Williams. That's Iñaki Williams, by the way, new signing. I think they paid about 43 million. I think it was 43 million? It was, from Bilbao. Good signing, that one. On the bench, Begovic, RK, Pasalic, Thiel, Oscar, Florenzi and Matic. So, I mentioned this last time we faced Chelsea, and I think we beat them earlier, earlier in the season. That, you know, they're giving a lot of the youngsters a chance, and it wasn't really helping them out. But recently, you know, they've had a bit of a resurgence, and they're up in 9th. They were a lot lower than that. So, it's going to be an interesting one, this. Let's go for a passionate team talk. Give the fans their money's worth. They don't care. Okay. Passionate faith. That always seems to work. There we go. There we go. It's good to see some green in the team talk. That's better. Start the match. Here is Eden Hazard, the player to watch for this game. Williams, though, shoots wide. Even possession at the moment. We've had more shots than them, but we haven't really seen a chance. We could hear, though. Deulofeu is on the ball. He's been dispossessed by Will Hughes. Williams to Giraldez now. Here is Hazard. Cuts inside. Finds Bamford. That is a great ball to Bamford. And Williams hits the bar, and it's cleared by Coleman. Chelsea had the best chances so far, but they haven't actually hit the target yet. Duarte's on a yellow card. That doesn't bother me too much. It's always the defensive midfielders that get sent off. It's never anyone else. And now that I've said that, Duarte's going to get sent off. It's half time. It's 0-0. We'll say for the fans again. They don't care about the fans, apparently. We'll go for this again, then. Wide player's not doing much at the moment. We're still going to exploit the middle there. That's where their stuff's coming from. Should we exploit the left flank? Because that's where Hazard's coming from, isn't it? So is that something we could do? Let's exploit the flanks. It's a risk. Let's see if it pays off. Ogzan's on the ball. Haven't seen him in a while. He's been sort of frozen out a bit. If we can do something here, then he may well come straight back in. But possession still is 50-50. But we've had more shots. We just haven't really been that clinical today. We need to improve. It's not really gone our way. We're about almost an hour in. And now Chelsea are having more of the ball. I'm going to switch it to counter because Chelsea are just edging it possession-wise. But we could see a goal from this. Anderson to Lukaku. Williams. And it's a goal! It's Jetro Williams. That's his first goal for Everton. And it's 1-0. That's a good finish. Came out of nowhere, that highlight. Wasn't expecting it. And we've got a goal from it. So I'll take it. So it's Felipe Anderson with the ball to Lukaku. And Williams was on the edge of the 18-yard box. Saw an opening and shot. It's a good goal. We are 1-0 up. Now, do we go... I think it's a bit early to go defensive. I'm going to leave it on counter. Again, the wingers haven't really done much today. We're going to take off Delafeu. We are going to bring Sinkgraven on. We are going to change Anderson to support as well. To make those changes there. Giraldes free kick hits the wall. Hazard to Oscar. Here's Florenzi. And Florenzi scored. And there was an offside there, but it was an old one. Florenzi's made it 1-1. Oscar to Florenzi. Now, who are you? So that's Williams. We lost his man. That's a shame. Right, I'm going to take off Anazi now. We're going to bring on Idrissa Gueye. I'm going to leave it on standard. Because if we counter, we're inviting them onto us. And we need to score a goal and they don't. But it's going to be another replay here. Because it's going to be 1-1. And I don't want to see any more replays. Unless we can find the late goal here. Klaassen to Ogzan. We could score right at the dead here and send us through to the next round. Klaassen. Lukaku. Oh, he's hit the crossbar. It's cleared by Zuma. And that might have been our last chance. I don't know. Got a throw in here though. It's with David Klaassen. And we've lost the ball here. We need to get it back. But they haven't. Bernardeschi. Williams. No. Oh, good save. Good save. Clear it. There's still about a minute left though. Hazard. And that's been blocked. Good stuff there by Duarte, I think it was. Lukaku. That is great stuff there. Sinkgraven. Garner. This is excellent play. Come on, Garner. Klaassen. Oh, Mallow clears it. I thought Klaassen was going to get the header there. Oscar though. Williams. That is Williams rather. That is a great tackle. Sinkgraven. Klaassen. This is... what an end to the game this is. It's made up for that Besiktas draw. Garner Gueye. Ogzan. Klaassen. 20 seconds left. And he's been dispossessed by Giraldi. Duarte. That's great. Lukaku. Oh. He was offside. There it is. Full time. It's another replay, but that was a big end to that game. There's a lot of stuff going on. I think we were unlucky. I'll go with that. That seems to make sense. But it's another replay, and it's another game that we've got to play. And the replays at Stamford Bridge as well. So that's made our job much harder. See, Williams impressed. He got the goal, but at the end of the day, he probably should have stayed on his man for the equaliser. He let him get away from him. But you know, it's a draw. That means we'd have another game to play. So, yeah, it just makes our schedule that much busier. So, next time round, we'll play Besiktas in the second leg. Probably that Man City game as well. And then I do want to play the Liverpool game. So, you may well see a lot of these games live because it's the run-in and we need to see what happens. So, I don't know how many of these last games will be live, but I imagine it'll be quite a few. Okay, that's going to do it for this video. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, leave a like down below. Leave any comments you want to make. If you want to see videos as and when they turn up on YouTube, hit subscribe. I will see you in the next video for the second leg of our Champions League last 16 tie with Besiktas, and maybe the Manchester City game afterwards. And who knows what the end of the season will bring. We could find ourselves in the top 4, we could find ourselves out of it, find ourselves in another title race, who knows. But we'll see what happens next time round. But that's going to do it for today. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.